Good morning to all the, good evening to all the panelists and construction professionals who have logged in. So just to give a brief overview of the agenda today. The welcome address would be given by Engineer Krishna Sayakari, after which Secretary General of ACCI, Engineer Garudwajan, will speak for a few minutes, after which there would be a vote of thanks by Engineer Prajit Vagurmaikar, and then thereafter the speaker will continue with his, will start off with his presentation, and the interaction would be by Engineer Olavo Carvalho, who would take on the question answer session after the speaker finishes his event. So that is the brief agenda. So as all of you would be knowing, Association of Consulting Civil Engineers India Goa Center, in collaboration with Ramco Cements Limited, is organizing this 5-day seminar on analysis and design of liquid retaining structures. We already had 4 talks. Now today is the talk by Dr. Virendra Prabhakar Dehadrai. And before the speaker starts off with the session, let me invite Engineer Krishna Sahakari, Chairman, ACCI Goa Center, to start off with his welcome address. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Anil Kumar. Goa Center, I welcome Secretary General ACCI, Engineer K. Garudwajan, Speaker Dr. Virendra Dehadrai, and I welcome all the delegates and all the attendees. There are revisions in IS course IS 3376 Part 1 and 2 and IS 1893 Part 2. So the Goa Center of ACCI decided to have a seminar on these topics. This series of webinar was earlier planned to be a seminar. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, we had to convert it into webinar series. The sessions were planned in such a way that we have 4 sessions covering the analysis and design aspects, and the last one covering the computer modeling. Although this kind of webinars are not substitute for classroom study or further reading, I think all of the attendees will have a lot of takeaways from these webinars. Our webinar sessions on IS 3370 Part 1 and Part 2 were conducted by Engineer L.K. Jain, and last 2 sessions by Dr. R.K. Ingre on container analysis, loads and forces. They were appreciated by all attendees. We intend to plan more of such events in future because due to COVID pandemic, the webinar mode would be the only option left out with us. You can leave your mail ID with us by sending a test mail to accegoa@gmail.com. I thank all the members in the managing committee for their support in organizing this webinar series. I thank Engineer L.K. Jain, Dr. R.K. Ingre, and Dr. Virendra Dehadrai for accepting our invitation and delivering lectures on this forum. I thank Mr. Anil Kumar Pillai for moderating all sessions, Mr. Suraj Kumar for coordinating with all of us, and the Ramco Cements Limited for providing us this platform. Thank you. Over to you, Mr.
Thank you. Thank you, Engineer Krishna Sahakari, for the welcome address. In fact, there was a query that shall we get recorded sessions of remaining 4. In fact, that is there on the YouTube itself. You can find that. A few of the attendees have asked that query. Now, over to Engineer Garudwajan for his address, Secretary General of ACCEI, who would address all of us. Over to you, Engineer Garudwajan.
Good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much. See, in 1983, Gangaram building, a 10-story building collapsed in Bangalore, and then a few engineers joined together and said this is because of unethical practices. It was found out that it was because of unethical practices. To bring some ethics and morals into the system or practice, 7 of us joined. I'm one of the founder members. we joined together, and in 1985 it was registered in Bangalore. So this is Bangalore center is the oldest, obviously. And as Mr. Sahakari said, Goa is one of the youngest. But although it is one of the youngest, it is one of the most dynamic and extremely well paneled, planned centers. In fact, the only thing because of Corona, I'm not able to go there because otherwise this would have been a seminar. And as Krishna Sahakari and Karavana know, I have not missed a single function there, including their AGM. So anyway, this is the best option, and the alternative for that. This 5-day webinar is being conducted extremely well. All our speakers are good. Whatever has four lectures have been very good. Today also I'm sure it will be good. And ACCE Goa Center, I would like to thank ACCE Goa Center for their initiative. And naturally, definitely I would like to thank Ramco, whose collaboration with ACCE in general and several centers in particular has been extremely continuous and decisive. It's very nice. And this webinar, especially apart from Ramco Cements, Mr. Pillai and Mr. Suraj Kumar have put in a lot of effort. I can notice it. I thank them from the bottom of my heart. And so with this, I think I'll conclude saying that again, thanks ACCE Goa Center and thanks Ramco Cements. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Engineer Garadujan, for the address, because in fact, he was actively participating in all the webinars, last 4 webinars he was there, and he was also making his expert comments. That was very kind of him. And what about vote of thanks by Engineer Pradyut Vagormakar is there?
Yes.
Yeah. So let me invite, Mr. Engineer Pradyut Vagormakar to deliver the vote of thanks. Over to you, who is the Secretary of ACCI Goa Center. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you. I am honored to have an opportunity to give a vote of thanks. Today being a last day of our webinar series, on behalf of Association of Consulting Civil Engineers, Goa Center, I like to thank our speakers, Engineer Lalit Kumar Jain, Dr. R.K. Ingle, and Dr. Virendra Rehadrai. From their busy schedule, they have given time for us. Last 4 sessions were very much informative. Our speakers throw light on such a subject which is rarely touched upon. And I feel today's session will also add to it. Thank you, sir, for enlightening us. My special thanks to the Ramco Cement Limited and all their technical team. A big thanks to Mr. Kumar Pillai and Mr. Suraj and all other Ramco supporting team for helping us to organize such a well-planned webinar. Good to see that this is in this COVID crisis as well, Ramco is committed to spread the knowledge. I think this is the 61st webinar they have conducted, and much more to follow. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you, Ramco. I like to thank our President, Dr. M.U. Ashwath, and our Secretary General K. Garudajan, who are always with us and supporting our centers. Thank you, sir. Big thank to our dynamic chairman, Engineer Krishna Sahakari, and all our team. It is our chairman's idea to convert our pending seminar to a series of webinars. This idea really turned good, and we are able to reach much more people as well as engineers than the conventional seminar. Thank you very much, sir. Finally, I would like to thank all the participants from their busy schedule. They have time and they have joined our seminar, made our seminar a very successful event. I pray to God to over this COVID pandemic soon, and will be able to conduct much more live seminar with the support of Ramco in the future. Thank you, sir, and Jai Hind. Over to Mr. Anil Pillai, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your vote of thanks. Now let me introduce the speaker of the day so that he can start off with this presentation. As all the panelists were mentioning, this webinar, which is being conducted along with Association of Consulting Civil Engineers India and Ramco Cements. Today's speaker, he is going to talk about computer modeling, analysis, and design of elevated water tank. So, in fact, Association of Consulting Civil Engineers India Goa Center, we had been interacting with all the engineers since our introduction of Ramco Supercrete Cement, which is a blended cement, PPC cement, which is meant for high strength as well as low heat of hydration. So amongst our 12 brands of cement which we are having, in fact, we have all the 12 brands of cement which has been customized for a particular concrete application. So we have ordinary Portland cement, PPC, PSC, sulfate resistant cement, and Ramco Superfast, which is meant for precast works. Now over to the coming to the speaker's introduction. Dr. Virendra Prabhakar Dehadare. He graduated in BE Civil, Nagpur University in the year 1991. He did his MTech from IIT Powai, Mumbai, and PhD from Visvesvaraya National Institute of Technology, Nagpur in the year 2016. He was associated with Mrs. Gamma India Limited, Mumbai from 1994 to 96 in planning and management section, and he has also had consultation for Fortune 2000 multi-storied building. He was design engineer with Mrs. Consulting Engineering Services India Limited, Navi Mumbai. He's the director of Aquidus Structural Consultants Limited, Private Limited since 2009. He's well versed with computer language, various languages like Basic, Fortran, C, and packages like SAP, AutoCAD, etc. Many of his publications which are related to computer-aided design, that is the computer-aided design of digester of a sewage treatment plant, some observations on earthquake analysis of multi-story building, effect of mathematical modeling on dynamics of multi-story building, IS 456 2000 an overview, and some observations from Gujarat earthquake. So that's the speaker of the day that we have today, Dr. Virendra Dehadare. In fact, as was mentioning, earlier two speakers had their sessions on various aspects of liquid retaining structures, and it was interesting to listen to all the speakers because based on their experiences. And today we have a speaker who is having experience both in real-time construction as well as being a doctorate as well as research-oriented works. I'm sure that we will have number of takeaways from today's session. So let me not take much of the time and invite Dr. Virendra Dehadare to continue to start off with his presentation. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Anil, sir. Is it okay?
Yes, sir. You can share your presentation. Yeah.
Good evening, all. At the outset, I would like to thank ACC Goa Center, Ramco Cement for giving me opportunity to present before you my views, and along with very enlightened panelists, Sri L.K. Jain and Professor Dr. R.K. Ingre, who has been my research guide. For last 4 days, they have taken and enlightened us on various aspects of water tank and water supply structures designs. At the start, I will also like to pay regards to my mentor, Dr. S.S. Kulkarni, who is a retired HOD of VRC, elsewhere VRC Nagpur. And
so can you bring the mic closer to your mouth, sir? There is some low audio is coming. Yeah.
Is it okay?
Now better, slightly better if you can, because the volume is too low, I believe.
Yeah. Volume is the big on 100%.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay now.
My regards to my mentor, Dr. S.S. Kulkarni, who is a retired HOD, who is guiding me in this field of water supply structures. And before the beginning of my slides and my presentation, I like to caution, especially students, with the advice I received as student from my professor, late Dr. P.R. Bhave, who has been master of water supply, water network analysis and design. Don't use computer as a brute force. And computer is only good or bad as the person who is using it. So in today's presentation, I will go through the basics of analysis and design of water tanks, which has been already covered by L.K. Jain sir and Ingres sir. But those who are joining today, that will be a brief review. And then I will go to how we analyze in a computer. I will be using specifically software Strap, but this is valid for almost all the softwares which are commercially available, like STAAD, ETABS, SAP, etc. So this is a picture of elevated service reservoir, or ESR, what we say. This is 30 lakhs liters ESR at Indore. And you can see here, as Dr. Ingre was saying, the staircase has been kept separately from the ESR structure, which is not interfering with the geometry of the ESR structure, and that is a very good practice. What is elevated service reservoir? ESRs are the major structures in any water distribution systems in India. That is because the water is stored at container at a certain height from the ground level and then distributed by gravity. This reduces the pumping requirement for the area. So that's why ESRs are seen very common in our India. The classification of the ESR is done mostly on the shape of the container, and the shapes can be cylindrical, rectangular, inch type shape, which is geometrically very efficient shape to dissipate the hydrostatic pressures, and fancy shaped ESRs, which are there to suit aesthetical considerations. ESR has three distinct elements: container to store water, staging to support the container at required elevation, and foundation to transfer the load to the ground. Of course, each element demands different analysis and design considerations to suit its functional requirement. The container is usually cylindrical and inch type and will have following members. For cylindrical tanks, a cylindrical wall which is connected at top by roof slab and at bottom by base slab. In inch type, it's a roof dome with a cylindrical wall, conical shade, base beam or slab, bottom beam, and ring beams. The members of cylindrical and inch type containers can be classified as thin shelves and subjected to axisymmetric load due to water inside the container. Hence, they are predominantly subjected to in-plane forces and can be analyzed by membrane theory, as told by. But this membrane theory creates discontinuity at the joints, and here the application of continuity of joints is done, and the compatibility at the joints can be achieved by applying bending theory of shells near joints. This continuity analysis has been very well explained in the textbook of Jain and Jaykrishna and series of papers by Dr. Arya in ICJ. Hello.
Please go ahead, sir. We can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you, sir. Yeah.
So this is a typical cylindrical type elevation, cylindrical type container or cylindrical type ESRs. These are some of the nomenclatures which are usually used. FSL is the full supply level. LDL is the lowest draw level or top of base slab. Then there is a base slab and base beams supported by skeletal structures of columns and beams. In this also, there may be internal columns and peripheral columns which may be of different dimensions. This is a very commonly used staircase for this type of ESRs, which is called as spiral staircase and is very common in Maharashtra, at least in Maharashtra. And from the view of structural considerations, this is the best arrangement for the staircase for the ESRs, because this is a non-structural element lightly connected to the main structure and doesn't interfere much with the response of the main structure. Various configurations of this circular type of ESRs are done considering the center to center of the panels of around 4 to 4.5 meter for ease in construction, and depending upon the volume and the depth of container, many configurations can be done, which I'll show hereafter. This is typical 4 columns ESR with 4 columns, and container can be square or circular, spanning on these 4 columns. Then this is 5 column configuration. Then 9 column configuration, wherein you will have container resting on a cantilever beam. This is 12 column configuration, 21 column configuration, 24 column configuration. Here also there will be cantilevers at the cantilevers on which the cylinder will rest. Then 37 column configuration and 51 column configuration, and you can go on adding the panels to suit the construction. So this has become one of the most popular type of ESRs, at least in Maharashtra, because the construction is much more simpler and the formwork requirement is considerably less as compared to the shell elements or inch type of ESRs. This is typical cross section of inch type ESR with a roof dome at top, cylindrical wall. This gallery ring beam, which also helps to pick up the hoop of hull and the cone. So this is not only a utility type of structural element, but in fact helps to reduce the helps to reduce this wall to go away. Then there is conical shell and a spherical dome. And the care is taken to ensure that thrust from cone is more, so that this bottom ring beam comes in compression. Because if the thrust from the bottom dome is more, this beam will be in tension and it will not be very economical. So the distribution of water pressure resisted by hoop action and bending in vertical direction wall. I'll just browse through this. This you can find in a textbook by Gray and Mannings, which is the Bible for water supply or ESR and water supply structure designers. And this is as given by, as already considered by Dr. R.K. Ingre, the tanks with triangular sections and uniform sections. The curves are available for the hoop in the section. More economy in the design can be using finite element method or finite strip method. Finite element method is well known and well established. And for the axisymmetric configuration of the ESRs, because of axisymmetric geometry and axisymmetric loads, we can use axisymmetric shell elements, wherein the wall is assumed hinged at bottom and top, and the axisymmetric water load is applied, results in form of hoop force and bending moments in wall can be found out, and the reaction at top and bottom hinge transferred to roof and bottom slab respectively. This is the typical section. I am not really aware of any professional software which gives the axisymmetric shell element, but students can always find it in a very good book on finite element programming by Hinton and Owens. There is another method which is called as finite strip method, wherein the container is discretized by circular rings of unit height and subjected to hoof force due to water, to get the hoof force and bending moment. The details, this method has, because of the advent of new softwares, this is not popular, but for very complicated structures, still this can be used. And you can get the reference of this method in the book by Y.K. Chung. As already told by Dr. R.K. Ingre, one of the most powerful methods for the design engineers for analysis of axisymmetric containers is the analysis by BEF, or beams on elastic foundation analogy. And addition to that, or improvisation on that, is frame analogy method, which is still more suitable for the design engineers. Behavior of cylindrical wall can be modeled by considering the axisymmetric beam element resting on elastic foundation, whose stiffness is given by K is equal to Et upon R square, where E is the elastic coefficient, elastic modulus for the wall section, T is the thickness of wall, and R is the radius of the wall. This continuous elastic foundation system can be replaced by a discrete system of tank wall divided into number of vertical beam elements whose connecting nodes are supported by lateral pin-ended struts. These are the beam elements whose at both ends the moments are released. And the area and the length of this struts can be found out by the formula, which we will come afterwards. But if we keep the length of this struts same, then only area of this struts needs to be changed, and that becomes easier. And also for design engineers, it is easier to deal with beam elements rather than the spring elements. As I told you, the area of the struts, if the length is similar, area of struts is given by T delta H upon R square, where T is the thickness of that beam element. And if this is varying, you can take the average thickness. R is the radius of this container, and delta H is the height of this element. So with this simple modeling, we can analyze various types of ESRs, or shells of the ESRs. So application problem here is given, which is given in Ghali's book, for a wall having abruptly changed thickness. This is very difficult. There are no coefficient available for such wall elements, but this can be very well handled by the FEM or FAM analysis. And as I've seen, the forces of by the FAM and the analytical methods, they do compare very well. This is the typical case of radial moment. If you want to analyze this by software, it is very cumbersome, but FAM, these are the FEM models which have been prepared. And here I will just show you the software wherein this can be done. Give me a few moments. So this is the 3D model of the structure, and because of the axis symmetry, we can reduce this to only a quadrant and do better analysis by considering only the quadrant of the structure like this. Only a quadrant. Now, here, because of symmetry, what you have to do is to provide restraint conditions so that symmetry is achieved. And the easiest way to do the restraint system is to consider this is x1 direction, this is x2 direction, and perpendicular to screen in upward direction is the x3 direction. So to consider a symmetry at this plane, what you have to do is to, because this x1 displacement is possible, because if on the one side of symmetry there is 10 mm displacement, then on the other side 10 mm displacement is possible. So x1 need not be restrained. Then x2, this horizontal direction movement. To achieve the symmetry, if this x2 is say 5 centimeter, x2 here cannot be minus 5 centimeter because of compatibility. So you have to restrain the movement in x2 direction. x3 direction is possible because if the movement is top 10 mm, then movement on the other side of symmetry of 10 mm is possible. Now, if we consider the moment about x1 direction like this, so this moment and here also moment in this direction is not possible, because by symmetry, if this is x moment, this will be minus x moment. In short, this will be a fixed in for this type of moment condition. So if you do this type of constraint system, we can simulate the full geometry by considering only the part geometry. And instead of doing all these things, what you can simply do is to provide a FAM method where this beam element is beam element of unit thickness of wall thickness, and this struts you can see here. You can see here the struts which are released at the both ends and are fixed at the end. Their length is same, so only based on the thickness we are varying the area of the struts. This different colored element shows different properties of the struts. So with this, the load can be applied. For the unit strip, and if you solve it, just a minute, you can straight away get the bending moment in the wall this way. And the hoop in the wall can be found out by the expression hoop is equal to Et upon R. Just a minute, I will show for the calculation of hoop. Based on the displacement, from the displacement, you can calculate the hoop by this equation. Et upon R into displacement will give you the hook in the wall. So this is a very simple method for analysis of any type of axisymmetric container with simple plane frame analysis package. These are the results which are already discussed. So I will emphasize all the engineers, design engineers and students to use this very simple method which can be employed by a simple frame element software which will give you the analysis of axisymmetric, any complicated axisymmetric container. Now this rectangular type of container will have following members: roof slabs and beams, rectangular wall panels bounded by vertical beams, slab and base beams. Size in plan is usually kept to 3 to 4.5 meters from the view of construction ease, and depth of water from 3 to 5 meters. Roof slab and base slab panels are considered as rectangular interior panels subjected to uniformly distributed load due to self-weight and water and live load. Wall panels are typically rectangular panels subjected to hydrostatic loads due to water, for which the coefficients are given in IS 3370 or Reynolds handbook. And the orthogonal straps are formed by roof beams and vertical beams in wall and base beam and bound the container. So this is a typical rectangular type of container with the strap beams are shown. The member of containers are always in contact with water, and it is therefore mandatory to design them by uncracked theory of WSM or by limiting crack width of concrete as per IS 3370 part 1 and 2. And 4 of course gives the design tables, and 4 is not yet revised. And crack widths can be minimized by using higher grade of concrete, lesser dia bars at lesser spacing, and limiting the tensile stress in concrete within the permissible levels. This is the vibration of liquid in tanks after Hausner in 1963. Before IS 1893-2002 and 2002, earlier IS code 1893-1984 used to consider only single degree of freedom of system. As been explained earlier by Dr. R.K. Ingre and Jain sir, the container can be divided into two sections, two masses, one impulsive mass which vibrates with the container, and another convective mass. And these are this creates the 2 degree of freedom structure for the ESR. But earlier we used to consider everything as impulsive mass, and now also IS 1893 allows the consideration of single mass system for tanks up to 1000 meter cube of capacity. So for 10 lakh up to 10 lakh liters of capacity, we can use single degree of freedom, but it is always better to go for this 2 degrees of freedom system, which is given by Hausner, and the formulation is also adopted in our IS code 3370. 1893. So the staging, the main computer application comes in the analysis of the staging. This is a skeletal. This can either be a skeletal structure formed by column and braces. This system is highly indeterminate and can withstand large amount of vertical load due to dead load, live load, and water load, together with horizontal forces due to wind or seismic effect. The cylindrical shaft is also has been popular, but in Maharashtra now we are not using, for Maharashtra Jeevan Pradhikaran tanks, we are not using the shafts. But this is very good if slip form shuttering is used. Otherwise, this thin shell structure is highly susceptible to local axial buckling. the lateral load analysis, the seismic forces are arrived by the response spectrum method, and considering one mass system up to 1000 KL capacity of ESR structures and two mass system for tanks about 1000 KL system. Then this two mass also, the force is unified, considering the base shear due to impulsive mass and convective mass. Equivalent horizontal seismic force is calculated by root of squares method, and this horizontal force can be applied to the structure or to the ESR staging structure. Damping of RCC staging is 5% of critical damping now, and vertical coefficient, seismic coefficient, is 2/3 of the horizontal system. Now, what do you mean by single degree of freedom system? Single degree of freedom system implies that tank will deflect as per stage B, like this, and not as per stage C. And this deflection delta then is used for getting the response of ESR by response spectrum method with predominant mode of time period T is equal to 2 pi root delta by G, where delta is this deflection at the top of staging due to application of load, which is equivalent to the weight of container and water and 1/3 weight of staging. And as Dr. Ingles said, if the ESR is squat, then we have to consider 1/2 the weight of the staging. Now, this is figure from IS 11682, which is IS for staging analysis. Here, I will like to invite your attention for this section BB, where the effective length L is shown as full length. But for ESRs having less than 6 columns, you can see here that this angle between the two braces will not be more than 120 degrees. And as per IS 456, you can consider this column to be effectively connected in two orthogonal directions. For staging involving less number of columns, it is necessary to carry out 3D analysis of staging. And in small types of container, lateral force acting along the diagonal may be more severe. For large capacity, the whole exercise may not lead to significant change in value of design forces in columns and braces, even if 2D analysis is considered. This is strictly because the ESR is mostly axisymmetric and the loads are axisymmetrical. This need not be taken as a general statement. So for a particular ESR, I will show you how the three types of analysis can be done for the staging. And of course, the wind force acting on the structures are also calculated as per IS 875 part 3. And it has to be noted that seismic force and wind forces do not act simultaneously. So the design is carried out either for wind force or seismic force, whichever gives the critical forces in the columns and beam staging. So earlier cantilever methods and Porter methods of analysis were very popular. However, before the advent of computers, however, they give conservative solutions. With the advent of computers, more sophisticated procedures of stiffness methods have become popular. And many softwares are available in the market, such as STAAD, STRAP, ETABS, NISA, etc. And more sophistication done by considering PD effect, which is now made mandatory by new IS 1893, and finite size joint corrections and shear deformation of the joints. P delta effect is particularly required if the stability index S is more than 1, and as told by Dr. R.K. Ingre yesterday, finite size joint correction increases stiffness of the structure, altering its time period, and the time period can be given by this formulation. This is already dealt with by Dr. R.K. Ingre yesterday. So for this typical ESR structure, the analysis can be done by considering a single 2D frame, which I will show. Instead of considering 3D, we can consider the 2D frame. Herein, the load of container is considered only on 2D representative 2D frame by considering the stiffness contribution of this frame. So if the stiffness contribution of this frame or the summation of I of this all these columns divided by summation of stiffness of all the columns into the load applied will give you the load on this frame. So this type of, for unit load, this can be horizontal load. This type of horizontal load can be applied, and simple frame analysis can be done to get the moments in the structure forces in the structure. And as told yesterday by Dr. R.K. Ingre, what we have done is here to consider that this is a single degree of freedom system. This condition can be achieved by giving the or applying the fixed roller at the top, so that this frame will move only laterally and will be actually as per sketch B we discussed earlier. And also because of the diaphragm available of uncracked base beam and base slab, a rigid link can be provided between these elements, and this will give you the deflection of the ESR as we need for single degree of freedom system. So this type of deflection of the system we will get because of restraint applied at the top to simulate the behavior of the staging of the structure. Now, we can further do the sophistication by considering the base beams and the container wall of the structure, and this type of 3D element, 3D model can also be developed. And here a raft also be modeled, and its soil structure interaction can be considered by putting up the springs. The stiffness of K of the soil, K for soil structure interaction or stiffness of soil can be obtained by geotechnical engineer or from the Bowell's equation for the stiffness of the springs by based on the bearing capacity of the structure. So any type of based on the severity or importance of the structure, you can do the sophistication in the structure, in the modeling of the structure. Then I will consider some different type of structures which we have done, and the analysis which can be done for this type of ESR. This is a small capacity ESR like a World Cup of the World Cup shape in Solapur at the stadium. So here, this being a very small capacity, what we did was we analyzed the sphere separately. Again, by considering symmetry, we have analyzed only half portion of the sphere, and then the staging can be modeled as per the shape of the, because this shape was odd, we have to reconfirm it with the 3D analysis. And this is another ESR of around 7.5 lakh liters capacity. This was also analyzed by preparing 3D model of the ESR, as well as the results were cross-checked analytically by superimposing the forces due to continuity and joint and membrane action. And I'll show you the 3D model also, which we have done for this. So before preparing the final 3D model, because then so this was the model which was prepared. You can see here the varying thickness of the shell, conical shell was modeled by different thicknesses with the opening, and the results were cross-checked with the analytical model. This will give, yes, I will show you the response spectrum analysis done for this. So this is how the ESR vibrates in first mode and in further modes also. So a sophisticated analysis can also be done to get the feel of the forces for such type of structure. This is another ESR under construction at this is a very small capacity ESR, but of large or huge height. This is almost 35 meters height, and uh, this cannot be considered as a typical ESR, because in ESR the ESR usually acts as a inverted pendulum because of large weight of container and water stored at this location, and relatively very flexible staging. But such type of ESR, such type of modeling is not correct for this type of ESR. So a full scale model needs to be developed, and not only the seismic analysis, but also you have to use gust factor method to provide the to get the idea of the dynamic wind forces as given in IS 875 part 3. So I have some of the figures for this ETABS analysis done by us for this ESR. So this was the ETAB model developed. This is the elevation. These are the dynamic wind loads applied. These are the combinations made: earthquake in X and Y direction and wind in X and Y direction. And the design was carried out with this design. We cannot, we have, and of course the base shear was amplified based on the static coefficient method. So this type of analysis can be carried out for such typical structures. And beyond this analysis and design, some of the PHEs, then they can these are the some of the design norms which are adopted by Maharashtra Jivan Pradhikaran, PHEMP, and relevant clauses of Indian standards. Like for in Maharashtra, maximum capacity of ESR can be 20 lakh liters and minimum is 25,000 liters. You have to use container for M30 grade. Minimum thickness 100 mm for roof dome, which is practically not possible because of new IS 3370, where 45 mm cover is required. So 45, 45, 90 plus 2 of 8 Thor bars, even if we provide, then it's 16. So minimum thickness of 120 mm should be there. Then wall minimum thickness, even if you get anything, you have to provide 200 mm. Then bottom dome, Maharashtra doesn't have much of inch type of structures, but in MP they say it is 150 mm minimum thickness. Base slab 200 mm, cover is 45 mm. Minimum bar diameter MJP requires they want to use 10 mm. Staging concrete M25 for capacity less than 5 lakh liters. Design in M20 and cast in M25. This is a provision of Maharashtra. They, even though this doesn't give exact factor of safety, but still they prefer to do the casting in M25, but design of staging in M20. Then maximum height 20 meters for MBR, 20 meters for elevated service reservoirs, and 25 meters for MBR. And for rural, the maximum height of ESR is restricted to 12 mm. Then the minimum size of column, even this has come into new IS 1893 also. Minimum dimension of column for any ESR having capacity more than 2 lakh liters has to be 400 mm. Below that, it can be 300 mm. And square columns are disallowed. That is because in ESRs, there are no diaphragm slabs. So with circular column, only checking of plumb is sufficient. You don't need to check the orientation of the firma or the shuttering for the ESR column. So the links for then brace sizes minimum 250 width as in Maharashtra, and as per IS 13920 minimum 200. Cover is 25, but with exposure condition now it is minimum 30 mm. Maximum center to center distance of brace as per IS 11682 is 6 meters, but in MJP for capacity of ESRs less than 5 lakh liters, you cannot go for the brace distance more than 4.5 meters. Cylindrical shafts are not allowed in Maharashtra and MP, and of course IS does allow it. Foundations and foundation type of foundation, if the capacity is less than 150 kilonewton per meter square, the raft needs to be provided as per Maharashtra MJP norms. And the staircases, MS ladder for capacity up to 2 lakh liters, and spiral staircase for capacity more than 2 lakh liters, and PHE demands RCC staircase going around the periphery of columns. With this, I will finish my lecture. Thank you for giving me the opportunity, and over to the panelists.
Anil sir or Ologo sir can take over, please.
We had an excellent presentation by Dr. Viren Deradray. His clarity in terms of the basics, the framing, he spoke a lot about framing, and I think that's one of the very important parts of it. Modeling he took very well. He explained FEM, frame analysis, etc. Overall, the presentation was really, really excellent. Very, I think everybody has been able to really utilize and improve upon the thing. I would like to, I mean, although I'm supposed to be doing only this, I would like to talk a little bit about the code. See, after Sanjay Pant has come in at BIS, a lot of codes have gone in for major changes. And I think it's a responsibility of every engineer to utilize the new codes. Association of Consulting Civil Engineers, Goa, has been in the forefront to disseminate knowledge on all the codes. Earlier, the 1893 when it came up, 13920, and now 3370. Both these codes, I think we have to change the whole system and accept and utilize the limit state of method of analysis. I think we have to close down on working stress and try to shift our whole focus on that. Being from ACCE, I also have a little, I feel privileged to use this opportunity to invite members, invite all our guests who have been participating in this to join ACCE. Now, I will tell you why we should join ACCE. I was the past president of ACCE, and today, Goa is a very small center. But today I can phone up anybody and ask him if I have a difficulty, I have a issue, and that's one very, very important thing. a lot of animosity between professionals as competitors, etc. That is practically reduced and gone. Our members are in many BIS committees, ECI committees, etc. So I think every member who is here right now should join ACC. And if you don't have a center, I think we should try and see if you can create a center. But joining ACC for a consulting engineer, and I'm sure Dr. Degadre will vouch with me that it is worth joining ACC. Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Ashwath sir. Thank you, Karwal sir. Your words are really very well appreciated. And usually amongst the designer, there is inertia to switch to the new IS codes. And that creates a lot of trouble for the designers who do follow the codes. I think most of the designers here would agree that if a designer applies new IS 1893 and another designer who doesn't apply this new IS 1893 will come up with a lighter design with lesser effects, lesser efforts, and that would be injustice to the designer who is using the new code.
Thank you, sir. That was a good presentation by Dr. Virendra. In fact, there is a small bandwidth problem from my side. And thank you, Engineer Olavo Carvalho, for having given your comments also. In fact, he is a very senior structural engineer from Goa, having over 38 years of experience and having been with ACC as its chairman, immediate past chairman. I'm sure that, he has, in fact, appeal to all the engineers to come together so that knowledge dissemination and various other issues can be sorted. Thank you, sir, for having given that message, and then thanks for the presentation. Can we have some question and answers, because there are some questions which are being posted?
Yes, sir.
Can you please tell us how to apply loads to members in software? That is one of the questions which is being posted by Mr. Subramania.
Okay. So if I can, if my screen is shared.
Okay, you can share your screen. Yeah.
But this is defunct. No.
Not coming, is it? Suraj, can you? Yeah, now it's on.
Yeah, it's on now. It's
Yeah.
on now. I'm more conversant with Strap, so I will go with Strap.
Okay.
What when I can do is I can take a new model. So here there is advantage of using this is available with most of the softwares. I'll take a circular tank with no bottom, radius of 10 meter, height of 10 meter, and depth, and thickness of say around 30 centimeters, and concrete M30. Pressure, I will skip this. We will do it afterwards. So this tank is done. You can apply the how do I move? Restraints. We will consider pin at the bottom. So main loads on the wall are the hydrostatic loads. So I'll take only application of that load. This is available in Strap, but similar procedure can be adopted for many of the softwares. They are all almost same. So here you select linear. The load is varying in I'll show you the axis. So you can see vertically up axis is X3. So the load varies linearly in global X3 direction. We will apply in local direction because here the global direction changes everywhere. Load at start, the bottom level is 0 meter. So at the 0 meter, we say we apply load of say 10 kilonewtons per meter square, and at the load at the top, say 10 meters, we apply 0 for water load. So we select all the elements. So this type of load gets applied. This is the major load for water tanks. So this is how simple it is in new software. And of course, if you want to use axisymmetric shell elements, then there is excellent book by Hinton and Owen on finite element programming, which gives axisymmetric shell element. Sir,
Okay.
I hope this gives the basic of how to apply the hydrostatic load, which is most important load.
Okay. And,
Hello. Anil Kumar.
yes, can we go to the next question, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, a question from Mr. Chidambara Nagaraju is asking about seismic lump mass for the liquid loads and solid loads. Is there any difference since it is an inverted pendulum action?
No, it is same. It is same.
It is same.
Yeah, it is same. You consider water also as a dead load. That is, for all the analysis, water is considered as dead load.
Okay. And another question is how to apply hydrostatic pressure in STRAP software.
No, I am not conversant with that software, but which software you said?
STRAP software is it?
Yeah, STRAP I showed you.
STRAP.
Yeah, just now I showed you how to apply.
Okay, that's the same thing. The same thing applies. Yeah. I think that's it, sir. I think most of the other questions were even covered in your presentation itself. So thank you so much for having taken off your time for being here and sharing your valuable experience with all of us. And of course, Association of Consulting Civil Engineers Goa Center has been able to organize this wonderful webinar, the 5-day webinar, which is being concluded today with the support of all the office bearers, Dr. M.U. Ashwath, as well as Engineer Garudaduja from Bangalore and Engineer Krishna Sahakari and others from Goa Center. In fact, Engineer Olavo Karavayu sir also had been an active participant in today's webinar. So thanks a lot for all the office bearers of Goa Center. And anything to be added, Engineer Krishna Sahakari sir, over to you for your
Emco Cements Limited for all the help which you have given. It was for this five days, and I think all of the attendees must have enjoyed it. Thank you.
Any concluding remarks from the speaker, Dr. Virendra?
No, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Enjoyed all the 5 days today, and I thanks Suraj Kumar for being patient with me, getting connected.
Okay.
And, I would have loved to be at Goa for this seminar, but
all of us would have been loved to be at Goa.
It was a pleasure, and it was so nice of you to have me on the panel. Thank you from my side.
Thank you for all the speakers who had shared their experiences during the past 5 days. And tomorrow we have the webinar at 11 a.m. and it's on a different topic altogether. It is on admixtures. So admixtures, of course, play a vital role in concreting. So as a lecture on a presentation on admixtures tomorrow at 11 a.m. So with those few words, let me thank once again ACCEI Goa Center for having taken the initiative for this 5-day seminar. Thank you so much. Stay safe, stay, take all precautions so that, we all are safe. With those few words, I sign out from this webinar. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Bye.